we've had so many generations in Afrobeat, and again, it's always like 2, 3 years window when we have new cards, new sound. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be like the number one at the time, but there was a time where Mayorkun was like the guy. There were times where Davido and Wizkid were not like churning out songs or music in general as how they are doing now. And someone like Mayorkun at the time was like the hottest guy. So my fear going into this album was like, what does it sound like? Especially what the soundscape sounds like. Like in now this Afrobeat where everybody wants to do mid-tempo. How do I explain it? There's this lazy. I'm not saying lazy, but the sound it sounds very lazy. It sounds very laid back. This mid-tempo thing that people tend to do now, which is they heavily ride on the production. So trying to listen to this album, I felt, how is Mayorkun going to sound on this album? Hope it doesn't sound outdated, because we've had people who were like, let me use Techno for example. This is not to like troll him or make fun of him. There was a time Techno was like the hottest guy also, where he didn't release an album, and when he later released an album, it wasn't hitting like people anticipated at the time where it was hot, right? Because the sound has already changed, even though he has some few songs on the album. I mean, I still remember Peace of Mind is Underrated. I think that was the song. But going into the album, I said, okay, let's see what Mayorkun has to offer, especially him calling himself, still saying he's still the mayor, right? And he kicks off the album with Keep On Rocking. First of all, I love the song. In fact, I like that Ayefele and Sean Kingston melody bounce. I mean, you could, if you listen to Sean Kingston's, was a beautiful song. He used that melody, also the Ayefele part also, and I really like the song. I think it's very cool, of two different sounds. Ayefele, what he was doing then, and Sean Kingston at the time, but also marrying it into the song. I actually like the song. Putting it as the first track, I think it was really nice. I like the song. Also, he featured Fireboy twice, and I would like to say the two songs are like 10 over 10 for me. I think I'll prefer Diamond. I think I'll take Diamond over Innocent, but those two songs with Fireboy, this is the part where we say we would like to see an EP, and the EP will never happen, right? Or maybe the EP eventually happen when it's like 7 years after, when people were expecting the Banjo and Two-Face to feature in their prime, they didn't do it, and now you see them together and you're like, this guy should have given us something. Will we get an EP from Fireboy and Mayorkun? Maybe not, but the two songs, it sounds really, really good on the two songs. I won't be surprised. Now, going to my favorite song on the album, Konko Below. So the way I started this thing, I said sometimes the music can be very slow now, or mid-tempo, laid-back approach. Mayorkun did it here, and he didn't just do it. He didn't change his sound. It sounded like Mayorkun. Mayorkun can up on a hip-hop beat, up on any kind of beat, sound anything. He could do it because he's a very talented singer. He's not just Afrobeat to the world artist where producer does the heavy lifting and it just vibes over it instead of like songwriting or whatever. That's another conversation. I'm not doing songwriting and vibes. But it sounds very, very comfortable on this song. I love this song so much, but I also like the song with Olive the Boy, the Would You song. Fantastic song. But going back to Konko Below also give me that sound of Joe Boy's Contour. I went back to Joe Boy's Contour. I played it immediately after Konko Below, and I'm like, okay, I like this kind of music. Even it's not necessarily everything has to be heavy beat or whatever you may call it. So I like I've said earlier, and I like Would You. I love the song. I love the feature. I love Leave the Boy on the song. Also, going into the album, I'm like, why was I scared for Mayorkun? He's been delivering so far while listening to the album. And again, the moment I saw Old Body, like I saw featuring King Promise, I knew it was not going to be a bad song. I just said, this is going to be a song I would like, even before I played it. And I played it. Great song. I love the song. And then we have Jiggy, the last track of the album. I like the song. to me, I think the song would have been, maybe it's just the rapper's bias that I have, but I think a rapper would have really bounced really well on the song. Maybe like Olamide or Odumodu, probably those guys would have lifted it for me more, but it's a really good song. And I'm really excited for Mayorkun, and I hope he really gets that, how would I say it? The ginger back. I'm not saying you should compete with the Rema people, the likes of Rema or Burna Boy. I'm just saying he still has his own niche, he still has his own sound and his own audience, and he can cut across anywhere to even make a nationwide hit in Nigeria. He's that talented and he's that good. And those are the songs that I really like on the album. And as for the song with Davido, Blessings on Blessing, it's not a bad song. But I mean, when you play the song, you had that Rema Hey song, the intro of the song. You know, there's that. Maybe I checked the producers; it wasn't the same producer, so it's probably something with the beats that they coined. Or I'm not saying one person owns it, but it just took me back to that Rema song. Also, the song in general seems all over the place. They were trying to do the sound from the first 50 seconds to like when Davido took over the beat. There was too many things going on that song. I don't know, but it's not a bad song. I won't be like I always say when I put disclaimer on these things. The song could actually blow up tomorrow. We don't know how the engineering works. We don't know how the machinery is going to come out. We don't even know the songs that are going to be pushed. Of course, the reason for Jackpot was a single, and people really liked it. I liked it, especially what he was saying on the song, because an average Nigerian can actually relate to what he's saying. So, and because I don't actually talk about lead singles on songs I like on the new album. So the album is a really good album. I will listen to this album over and over again because Coco Below is such a beautiful song. To me, it's my favorite song on the album. And I'll give the album 8 over 10 because I think I'll be going back to listen to at least like 4 songs on this album. And this album surprised me. Not going into it, I felt like it could be like a 5 or 6, but the songs are really good, and the Fireboy collaborations, please, Mayorkun, I don't know if you ever listen to this podcast, you guys should work on something together. Maybe it's 3-track EP or 6-track EP or whatever it is that you guys can do. You probably have some songs together on our Drive Records. You should just give it to us. And on this note, this is the end of the Here's What I Think episode. Talk to you guys next time.